How's it going? It's Reapers Electronics. Today we're going to be talking about stick drift and controllers, especially the PlayStation 5 controller. They have stick drift really bad, and it's just a waste whenever you go through and you have to buy a new controller for $75 every single time. So we're going to be talking about somewhat what causes stick drift. I know there's like a lot of videos out there that say, oh, maybe it's dirty or something like that, and it's a possibility that it can be dirty, but most of the time it's not because the analog is actually dirty. So this is a PlayStation 5 controller here. We're gonna go ahead and take a look at the inside of one. So this is the inside of it here. So this is a little board that those analogs are sitting on. As you can see, this one has drift on it. This little tensioner here on the side is what actually causes the drift here. And as you can see, this one's pretty busted up. So the actual analogs themselves, right, this is what they look like. Alright, so these are the tensioners right here on the sides. Now the issue with these tensioners, right, is that we're going to go ahead and pull this apart so I can show you this here. So they just kind of pop off. So the issue with these little tensioners, right? So this is, let's see, left to right. Both of them go left to right and forward, backwards. One of them goes one way, the other one goes the other way. And I dropped the inside of it out there. But basically, the little tensioner here, right? So it has a couple parts to it. So these little prongs down here are what's soldered to the motherboard. And then this is the actual part of the tensioner here, and this little part on the inside is where that little part sticks out here that connects inside of there. And so whenever you go to move it, you can see that that part moves like so. And so this is what actually keeps it, centered, zeroed out, leveled. So we're gonna go ahead and take this apart right here. I mean, it already fell apart, but they use a plastic little piece inside of there, right? And then on that plastic piece, there's a little like metal spring type deal there. And this little metal spring here, for one, it's not like anything too crazy. It's a really lightweight spring or whatever. But the more that you use your controller, or if you like throw your controller or something like that, what it does is on the inside of the little housing here, right, is where that metal is touching. And what it does is around on the inside here, that metal piece wears down certain spots. So it causes like low spots and stuff like that. Or even sometimes, just it scratches so much of it away all around here, depending on how much you use your controller, or what kind of trauma that the controller receives. On the inside here, this little part gets scratched around, and so when that little metal spring inside of there is sitting inside the housing, right, so you have it set in there, and it starts to turn, whichever way, what'll happen is it'll hit a low spot. And so whenever it hits a low spot when it's turning, that's what causes like the whole drift or whatever. It's just like these things are really cheap. All right, these things are really cheap. So the other tensioner is the same way. They're both just really cheap. I mean, even just the housing itself isn't that firm. You can basically just pull this thing apart with your hands. Why they use these, I don't know. And it's kind of like just really inefficient, especially because even if you order like new analogs and you try to replace them, it won't zero out. There's no like software or anything like that on the systems where you can zero them out. I'm pretty sure on Xbox there may be, but I'm not too sure like what you can set dead zones to. Now if you're using like a PlayStation 5 controller for like PC or something like that, or an Xbox controller for PC, and it has a little bit of drift, you can reset the dead zone depending on which games you're playing, or which system you're using, such as like Steam or something like that. But otherwise, I mean, you're just basically screwed out of $75 for a new controller, right? Now there is companies that make like these little, so you can switch the analog itself. it's not going to zero out. It will, like, it's almost impossible. You know, coming from a repair shop too, I've replaced hundreds, if not thousands, of these. And all I can say is every single one that I've done, there's probably been like 1 out of 30 that have actually zeroed out. The other ones will always be just off center, which won't really affect gameplay too much. Sometimes it does though, like depending, I don't know exactly what the reading is or how sensitive the controllers are, but I do know that it has affected some of my customers in the past. Now there are like these little ribbon cables with little tensioners on them that you can solder to the bottom side of the analog when it's sitting on the board. So it'll be like below here, and you're gonna want to solder those little ribbons on there. And I guess you can adjust them. So you'll like they have like a little screwdriver thing, and they have like 2 little spots that you can do adjustments on. So you'll solder it to these solder points here, because that's actually where the tensioners are. It's these 3 little points here and 3 little points here. So it's going to solder to here, and then from there, you know, you just tighten it up in order to try to zero it out. So I'm guessing that you could probably do it. I'm probably going to go through and buy a couple of those and show you, you know, how they work, and I want to test them out and see if they work too. But overall, like, the reason for stick drift is obviously just because these analogs are really cheap, cheap parts. You know, they're not made to last. Obviously there's planned obsolescence with controllers, but it kind of sucks, especially with PlayStation 5 controllers, when you've had it for a month and it starts drifting, you know, off of just normal casual gameplay, or, you know, accidentally sitting on your controller or something like that, your girlfriend throwing your controller. But you know, I'll probably show you those tensioners. I'll probably try to install a couple of those and see how they work. I'm gonna go ahead and show you on the computer real quick actually what those tensioners look like, and we'll look up on them a little bit and see how they work, and then eventually I'll make a video after I've ordered some to see how well that they work. So let's go over to the computer real quick. Alright, so this company is really good. This is who I use for like all my controller mods and all that kind of stuff whenever I modify controllers. It's called Extreme right here. I would go to their actual website. They're also on Amazon. So depending on, you know, shipping and stuff like that, you can get stuff sooner through Amazon, I believe, but I'm not 100% sure. So we're gonna go ahead and click on the PS5 collection here, and they have a bunch of different options, different ways that you can modify controllers, clicky triggers, all that cool stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and look for the like a little stick drift. So that's the controller buttons. Okay, so it's actually called, looks like it's called like drift fix. Yeah, so that's the analog stick drift problem. So this will show you like the full, you know, fix for something like that. As you can see here, like, they're really cool. You can actually just add them, you know, to the bottom right here. So see how they, you know, those 3 areas right there and 3 areas right there where those tensioners are. Let's see if they show you how to like adjust them. Okay, so they're just showing you on multiple controllers, it looks like. But yeah, they're pretty simple to add here. So there you go right there. So there's the tensioner, and here's the other tensioner. And then these are the little adjustment like screws that they have in there. Alright, so you can adjust the stick drift issue, which is pretty cool. I have a feeling that this is gonna blow up in popularity because, again, the PlayStation 5 controllers have a ton of stick drift issues. They're not expensive either. I think last time I looked, I don't know why it took me straight to the video. We're on the video collection, that's why. So let's go ahead and come to PS5 others. And it should be on here somewhere. No, it's not on PS5 others. It's on... let's see if we can find it real quick. Okay, it doesn't look like it's on there. I don't know where it went. Maybe they sold out of them. I don't know. Oh, there they are. Here they are right here. So these are like the actual parts here. So these are the parts that you would solder on the tensioners, and these are the parts right here that, you know, you can adjust them, which is pretty cool. And like I said, they're not expensive. You know, they had them listed at $24.99. Now they moved them back down to $14.99. Obviously, only 2 reviews because it's still new. But look, 5-star reviews. You know, so it's a pretty cool idea. Pretty cool setup, and it looks like it works for all the versions of the controllers. So 010, 020, and 030. And here's the little screwdriver here. This might be the one that you adjust it with. Yeah, I think this is the one you adjust it with here. So it's a little circle in there, and I'm pretty sure you just turn it to adjust it there. So this should be able to help out. It tells you the capabilities here. So center deviation within 0.12 is what it fixes. I don't think it fixes the jitter. I think that's what that's telling you right there. So sometimes whenever you have an analog and, you know, it's like, if you put it up to like gamepad tester or something like that, and it's like jumping or, you know, doing this whole thing, like the little dot on there, then I don't think that this fixes it. So you may have to actually replace the analog and then install this, and it should stop the issue from happening. So it looks, I mean, it looks pretty legit. You know, we're gonna have to definitely try this out on a couple controllers ourselves, and see if we can get it to fix this issue. I mean, this would feel like this sets you pretty far ahead in the game, you know, because it's a pretty good idea right there. So anyways, yeah, I just wanted to run you guys through that real quick, tell you about what causes stick drift, and, you know, how can you fix it? You know, how can you really fix it, you know, to where it can be centered a lot better than, you know, just replacing the analog and then, you know, it's still got a drift to it. So I have a feeling like I'm gonna be using these a lot in the future inside of my shop in order to help people out. I think that this is a great idea. If you guys have watched this far, you know, I appreciate you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, because we have tons of videos, helpful videos. We just want to be as helpful as possible. If you have any recommendations on videos and stuff like that, we can also help you out with that. So thanks for watching. This is reaperselectronics, and we appreciate you. We appreciate your time. Be sure to like and subscribe. Check out some of our other videos if you have questions about PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, anything like that, video issues, power issues, anything like that. We should be able to help you with. So thanks for watching.